What's up? What's up? Welcome to Hanging with Stats, episode number 9. Tonight, I'm going to recap the No Prep Kings Colorado race that just happened this past weekend, as well as what's up, Griff? What's up, Griff? Sorry. As well as recap. I'm going to recap the Colorado race, as well as talk about Mega Cash Days. Can y'all hear me all right? I got some earbuds in. I'm trying out. Just want to make sure y'all can hear me okay. Um, Okay, good. So, how I always start this show out is I always start out with my shout outs. So I want to do some shout outs to start with for the night. First off, all right, good. Sounds good. First off, I want to shout out to all the fans that I got to talk to in Colorado. It was cool having some conversations with some of y'all. I always enjoy talking with the fans. And I don't mean like just my fans, just fans in general, people who recognize me and just want to talk about No Prep Kings and stuff like that. So I always have a good time doing that, and I always enjoy the conversations with fans about we can talk about talk about more than just racing stuff like that. So that was cool. This race more than any race I've been to, I've had a lot more interaction with fans, so that was cool. Hi Neely, how you doing? What's up, Janet? Um, Also, I got some messages that from fans that say, "Oh, I missed you in Colorado. I couldn't find you." Blah blah. And I started to think about how I can make myself like more available or something like that. And I just think about my schedule when I'm at the races, and I got like a touch of ADHD. I'm kind of all over the place. So like most of the time I'm down at the starting line, watching the races. That's right, Lonnie, the unofficial official MPK stat guy. That's right. What's up, Adam? How you doing, buddy? So most of the time I'm at the line. The thing is, my schedule is like on Friday and Saturday. The time I'm kind of in the pits is when I do my little walkthrough. I go see all the drivers that I want to see and talk to all my friends, and then I go do my little pit tour where I'll take pictures of all the cars. That's always like Friday morning. I'll try to do that, and I can't do it too early because some of the cars aren't out yet. So I wait until all the cars are out and they don't have the car covers on and stuff like that, so I can get my pictures. And then I don't know. I'm always hanging around other people's pits. I'm always in Ryan's pit or Nate's pit or Seppi's, Chris Michael, like kind of hanging around that area usually if you want to find me. Otherwise, I go down for the chip draws. So I'll leave the pits to go down for the chip draws, and I'll usually stay down there for the first round of the racing. And I might come back for a little bit, but then I got to get back down there because of the chip draw for the next round. So I'm kind of always back and forth. Yeah, Jimbo. I don't have Spotify anymore. I took it off Spotify just because it was too much and it just wasn't beneficial for me right now. But yeah, so I'm kind of all over the place. So I'll try to maybe make a post like, "Hey, I'm going to be in Nate Saylor's pits for the next hour." I don't know. It's just, I mean, I'm right. It's right. I get a lot of messages saying, "Hey, missed you at this race, missed you at this race. Where were you?" Stuff like that. So, and like I said, it's not on purpose. I'm always down at the line watching the races. I don't have like a booth where I set up or sit at or anything like that. So I don't know, but I'll try to, if you see me, don't be afraid to just shout at me. I'll stop. We can talk definitely. So don't be scared to come up to me. Um, I enjoy the conversations. Like I said, you might cross by me like Craig Cook. I know Craig was in Colorado this past weekend. He's on here. Craig is a writer for Drag Illustrated. And I wanted to see Craig. I should have messaged you. It's just you get busy and it's a busy day. But I didn't even run into Craig at all anywhere. So it's just red beard. It's crazy, Jonathan. I do have a red beard. Even though I don't have red hair, I do have a red beard. It's funny. Um, but anyway, so if you see me, please don't be afraid. Just say holler. Just yell at me. Anything. Stop me. Um, so so that's that. I want to shout out to some people who always make it an enjoyable time for me at the races and make it possible for me at the races. Of course, Richard Rowe and Ryan Martin, Chris Michael, who owns Gucci, and Nate Saylor. Those guys do more than what I'm going to tell you, even they do, but they do a lot for me. So I appreciate those guys so much. They're, like I said, when I'm at the races, it's like those three places where you can find me most of the time if I'm not at the starting line. Shout out to Giuseppe Gentile for rocking a Stat Guy shirt. He was wearing one of my Stat Guy shirts on Saturday. So shout out to him. I want to give a shout out to Kai Kelly. Kai Kelly won the whole weekend. He won Friday night, grade 8. He won Saturday Invitational. He dominated the weekend. This is the first time that he has won both, Friday and Saturday. So shout out to him. His car was making. I think there was only one pass where he didn't really get down, but the other person he raced didn't get down. But otherwise, that dude was fast and it was straight down. Most of his runs, he didn't have to do much driving. It was just straight down the track. So shout out to Kai. Big shout out to Clay Cole. I had Clay Cole on the show a few weeks ago. We actually had some audio difficulties on my part. So it wasn't as good as the interviews I wanted to be. But shout out to Clay Cole for making his first invitational final. He got all the way to the finals and lost to Kai in the finals. But this is only his second time being an invitational race. So I'm going to block that. Shout out to Clay. He is fast. Got an awesome looking car. And then I also want to give a shout out to Kai for picking up Clay Cole. He only picked him up 2 weeks ago. He picked him up before anybody else did. And it was a huge pickup, man, because him going to the finals already, and I've seen his car run. His car is a top-notch car out there. So Kai's got, a team full of killers now. So shout out to Kai for strategically picking him up. What's up, big Kevin Stevenson? How you doing, buddy? You can stalk me, Craig. Hey, any of the fans, you guys, well, I mean, not to stalk me, but you guys can definitely come up to me. If you see me, please say hi. Door Gunner, appreciate you, man. Check out Door Gunner. He sponsors a lot of the. Door Gunner was one of my partners at the beginning. He helped me out big time. Appreciate Door Gunner. Check him out. I think he has a Facebook page. Yep, Door Gunner. Check out his website. But he's also sponsored some of the drivers. Obviously, he sponsors Kai Kelly, big Door Gunner sticker on the side of Kai's car. So shout out to him. What else? I always get distracted when I read the comments. Oh, shout out to both Murder Nova and Gates. Richard Rowe, my buddy Richard, he's the best. I should have had a moderator on here so I can kick you out, Richard. No, shout out to Murder Nova and David Gates. So David Gates was in the grade 8 earlier in the year and then was out of it for a couple of weeks. Now he's back possibly in the grade 8 again this week. He is in 8th place. And also shout out to Murder Nova. As you know, Murder Nova has a different program this season. And it is going pretty good for him, I would say. That his best season yet of No Prep Kings. He's got himself all the way up to 8th place. So he has a chance, a chip draw chance at the grade 8 this upcoming week. So shout out to Murder Nova. I like I said, I always stand at the line for the races, to watch the cars. Obviously, you can kind of tell who's making really, really good passes, right? And I'll tell you right now, man, Murder Nova is making really fast passes. So, and he's been talked about now. He's in the conversation now as like, possibly like winning a race. So shout out to him. I know that's big for him. Murder Nova is such a nice guy. So shout out to Murder Nova for that. And my last shout out is to Street Outlaws in general, to Sam, all of them, Jen, for putting on a huge event in Vandermeer. I've never been to that track. It's a beautiful track. It's right on the side of a mountain. The stands were packed both sides. Saturday, especially Saturday. Saturday, like the whole left side, the whole major grandstand was completely packed. The right side, the bleachers, they were packed. I mean, there was just fans were everywhere, loaded in the pits. So I don't know how many, I don't know how much Vandermeer holds as far as attendance, but it had to be close to, if not sold out. So there was just so many people there. So shout out to Street Outlaws for putting on an awesome event at Vandermeer. What's up, Ryan? How you doing, man? So let's talk about recap. Let's recap Colorado. So Friday night we actually saw the remake or the unfinished final from Idaho, and we saw Lizzie versus Chuck 55. They got one test pass, and then they got to race. So Lizzie actually beat Chuck 55 in the Idaho finale. So they actually gave her 2 invitational wins in a row. So that was big for her points on Saturday. And like Lizzie usually does, is she'll usually pop off a couple races in a row. That's kind of her MO since she started. So she won 2 in a row there. So let's recap the actual grade 8 from Friday night, the Colorado grade 8. So in the first round, we saw Lizzie Musey beat Scott Taylor. Scott Taylor and Robin Roberts were the 2 qualifiers for the 8th. The 2 people trying to qualify for the 8th spot in the grade 8. The previous week, Scott and Justin were there, and they did a chip draw. And then now this past week, it was between Scott and Robin Roberts, and they actually raced off for it. So Scott beat Robin in the qualifier for the 8th spot in the grade 8. And then so Lizzie beat Scott Taylor in the first round. Axeman beat Nate Saylor in the first round. Kyle Kelly took out Kayla Morton. They've kind of been back and forth this year. I think they're maybe at their head-to-head might be 2-2, maybe something like that. So they have kind of a little rivalry going between Kai and Kayla. And then Giuseppe beat Damon Merchant. The second round of the grade 8, we saw Kai Kelly beat Axeman, and we saw Giuseppe beat Lizzie. And then in the final, we saw Kai take out Giuseppe. I do have points here for the grade 8. So these are your current grade 8 totals. I don't know if y'all can see that. I think you can. So on the season in the grade 8, Kai has got a pretty good lead now. He's got 47 points. The most anybody can earn for winning a grade 8 race is 10 points. So Kai has got over a full 2, he's got a 20-point lead over Giuseppe. So he's got a 2-race lead on the second place Giuseppe. Axeman's third with 19 points. Dan Merchant is fourth with 13. And then 3 people are tied for 5th. Ryan Martin, David Gates, and Kayla all have 10 points. So there are your grade 8 points as of right now. Get back to here. That's the grade 8. Thank you, Todd. Appreciate you, man. So let's recap. We'll recap the Invitational for Saturday. Obviously, there were 32 cars. They had to race your way in Friday night. There was 2 rounds to race your way in. So Invitational for Saturday. In the first round, we saw Scott Taylor beat Paige Coughlin. Brandon James beat John Odom. Good to see Brandon James get out of the first round. He's been struggling, so it's nice to see him get a first round win. Callie Mills beat Mike Chandler. Kai Kelly. As you might not know, Mike Chandler got picked up by Mike Murillo, and he raced his way in, and he stayed on Mike's team, so he raced for Mike Murillo's team on Saturday. Kai Kelly beat Chuck Seisinger. Jim Howe beat Mike Murillo. Clay Cole had a big win against Damon Merchant in the first round. That kind of set the tone for the Saturday race with Clay Cole taking on Damon right away. Robin Roberts beat Kyle Canyon. Disco Dean got a win. Finally, Disco Dean got a win in the first round. He beat Birdman. Nate Saylor took out Rich Bruder. Lizzie beat Jeff Lutz. Axeman beat Bobby Ducote. Kayla Morton took out her teammate Daddy Dave. I believe Dave was broke. Remember right? Broke something. $25 party set or something like that. But anyway, Kayla beat Daddy Dave. Chuck 55 beat Larry Larson. Murder Nova took out Giuseppe in the first round. Big win for Murder Nova there. Ryan Martin had the Fireball Camaro again. He beat B-Rad. And David Gates took out Justin Swanstrom David Gates is flying. He's really fast right now. So I'm not going to take nothing away from him. Justin Swanstrom is struggling. Not sure if they've figured out the issue yet, but he is struggling. Hey, Capri, how you doing? Good to see you on Friday and Saturday. All right, so second round of Invitational. We had Ryan Martin beat Brandon James. Lizzie Musi beat Scott Taylor. Yeah, Kai is an asshole, isn't he? Hey, Tom, how you doing? Murder Nova got another big win, and this time in the second round. So Murder Nova in the first round took out Giuseppe. Then Murder Nova in the second round took out Axeman. So if you're counting the big wins, that's 2 for Murder Nova on Saturday, and I mean that just shows you how fast his car really is running now. So Kai Kelly beat Callie Mills. David Gates beat Nate Saylor. Kayla Morton beat Jim Howe. Disco Dean beat Chuck 55. So Disco Dean got another win. Congrats to him. And Clay Cole took out Robin Roberts. So if you're keeping track, Clay Cole has beat Dana Merchant and now Robin Roberts in his first in Saturday's race. Third round, we saw another. It ended up being a classic race, but we saw another matchup that we've seen many, many times before. Kai Kelly versus Ryan Martin. They raced off in the third round. Watching the races, that was, I think, the closest race Kai had all night, I think, was with Ryan in that third round. It was one close ass race. So Kai I think had maybe a quarter car, maybe half car on him, but Kai beat Ryan in the third round. Clay Cole took out Disco Dean. Lizzie Musi beat David Gates, and Kayla Morton beat Murder Nova. Semifinals, we saw Kai race Lizzie for the first time since all the drama. Race was really good race. Kai ended up beating Lizzie. Clay Cole beat Kayla Morton. So that is, I mean, as far as you're talking about big wins, so in this race alone, Clay Cole took out Damon Merchant, Robin Roberts, and now in the semis, he took out Kayla Morton. So, I mean, it wasn't like Clay got some easier draws to make his way to the finals. Like he had to earn his way to the finals for sure. So then Kai Kelly versus Clay Cole. Kai Kelly beat Clay Cole. Kai Kelly won again. And these are your current. This is going to be small as heck. I don't know if you're going to be able to see that. When I upload it, it looks a lot bigger, and then when I post it looks small. But anyway, so I'll just read off. So your top 10 on Saturday points for the team points, the individual points for the team competition. Kai Kelly's now in first by himself with 280 points. Lizzie Musi is second with 260. Damon Merchant is third with 230. Kayla Morton is fourth with 190. Nate Saylor rounds out the top 5 with 180. Then you got 2 people tied for 6th place. Giuseppe and Axeman both have 170 points. And then this is your 4 guys tied for 8th. Scott Taylor, David Gates, Robin Roberts, and Murder Nova. Those are 4 guys that have 160 points, and they are tied for 8th place. So that is a recap. See you, Capri. Adam, I agree, man. That dude is fast. So that is your points. That's your top 11 for Saturdays. And then team points, I do have those too. Let's see here. So there's your team totals. So in the semifinals, Kai Kelly's team had 3 of the 4 cars in the semifinals. They had Lizzie, Kai, Clay Cole. Those are your 3. And then David Gates actually went to the third round. So they had big days out of the whole team there. Big day. And that's why they now have a 110-point lead. So they're in first with 790 points. Dave's team is in second with 680. Ryan Martin's team moved up to third with 610. Fourth is Bodie with 580. Murder Nova's in fifth, his team with 550. Swanstrom's in sixth with 510. Murillo's in seventh with 390. And Disco D is in last with 300 points. So those are all your points up to this date. I did compare them. I always call them the unofficial points because I'm not official Street Outlaws stat guy. But I did compare the points to the real points, as you could say, and they are 100% matched. So those are your points. Bucci, they get, so on Saturdays you get 10 points for making the Invitational, and then you get 10 points for every win, every round you win. So, or every round you advance, I should say. Not, you could get 10 points for a bye if it happens to, but every round you advance, you get 10 points. So those are all the recap. What I want to talk about is my surprises. So I always do my surprises, things that don't surprise me, and also the overreaction. So my surprises of the weekend was Clay Cole. I know he has a great program. He has great tuners. He has a great car. You know, it just, he had tried to race his Wayne and then make it in 1 week, and then he lost in the third round, I think, last week, I believe. So, like, you know, the stuff is there for him to be fast. You know he's probably going to be good. But I guess I was surprised he went all the way to the finals. He beat some really fast people to do that. So Clay Cole was my big surprise for the weekend. Something that not surprises me is how close the races are, and that the fact that, again, someone like Clay Cole, another new person, makes it to the finals. We've had more people in the finals this year, if you call grade 8 and invitational combined, than we've ever had any season. So there's just a lot more close races than compared to last year. A lot more people going to the finals. It's really competitive. It's the most competitive season we've had yet. So I think opening up the future class to the invitational, like streamlining it via the draft, I think that made the whole field that much faster and that much more competitive. Quick draw shop, hell yeah! I always give a shout out to Upshift. I actually spent all week, and me and Upshift room together and drove around together this weekend. We shared, so I was with Upshift all weekend. Love that dude. He's my twin brother, if y'all didn't know. So shout out to JJ. Upshift he's awesome. He will be supplying me with all of my viewing pleasure this weekend on Upshift 360. So if you don't follow Upshift, please do. It's Upshift 360 on Facebook and YouTube, but he will live stream he live streams all the events. He also makes like professional 4K videos of all the events too. If you didn't catch the live feed, he will upload it. He uploads it throughout the whole night, the morning, everything like that. So shout out to him. And also he has t-shirts now too, Upshift 360 t-shirts and hats. So if you go to his Facebook, I think he has one of his most recent posts. Click on the post or send him a message. He can get you a. No, not JJ the boss. I'm talking JJ from Upshift. So check out JJ. He's got t-shirts, stuff like that. But I'll be watching Upshift 360 YouTube channel this weekend for all of the racing in Las Vegas. Obviously, if you can make the race in I cannot make the race in Las Vegas, but if you can make the race in Las Vegas, go, man. You've never been to a No Prep Kings event, you have to go. You have to see what it's like. I'm telling you, you're going to be hooked, just like I am. I wanted to come, the beginning of this year, I wanted to come to some races because I figured it was something I should do, especially being a stat guy. I should go check it out. I went to one race last year, but I didn't really get the big feel of it. Now, it's addicting. Like, I need to go to every race. Fortunately, I can't, but if I miss a week, it's like, damn, I missed out on a race. I feel bad about it. But the atmosphere is awesome. Fans interact with the drivers. You get to talk to your favorite drivers, say hi to them, watch them. You watch some of the best drag racing there is. The racing is so competitive. And honestly, as far as tickets go, it's pretty cheap to go if you wanted to go. So, and if you want to spend a little money, take advantage of the VIP, the Super VIP, the Rockstar VIP. You get to get in earlier, so the lines aren't as long. You get to watch the race if you want down by the starting line. So yeah, so if you can make the race, any close race to you, I suggest you do it if you've never been to one. You should go again. I'll take questions in a little bit. Let me talk about some more things, and I'll answer you some of your questions. So my overreaction, I did my surprises, my not surprises, and now my overreaction. So I think the overreaction for this weekend is been seeing a lot because Kai's dominating so much. I've been seeing a lot of real comments about rule changes. There should be rule changes for screw blowers, blah, 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 blah. If you look at the top 11 right now, the top 11, there's one screw blower, and that's Kai. The rest are nitrous and pro chargers. So I don't know if one guy, I don't know if it would matter if Kai was what he's running if at this point, right? I don't. At the end of the day, I don't think it matters what combination you run. If you're going to be fast, if you're fast, you're going to be fast no matter what you do. So the fact that Kai is killing it with a screw blower, you got to look at the other people who have screw blowers who are always fast. Like Justin. Justin's struggling with something. It ain't his combination. Like it ain't his combination of a screw blower. He's got some gremlins going on. Jim Howe had his accident, so he missed some races, so he's down a little bit in points. So there's just some normal screw blowing guys that just happen to be down a little bit in points this year, not in the top 10. So because of other reasons other than their combination being too slow. Trust me, the screw blower combination is not like that dominant that they should make. I don't think they should make any rule changes on it or anything like that. There's actually a lot more pro chargers in the top 10 compared to screw blowers. So Kai is just killing it right now. That's all there is to say about it. He's just, it is what it is. He's killing it. He's doing it through the rules. He's doing it by the rules. So, so I want to talk a little bit about Mega Cash Days. So we saw Monday was the finale of season 2 Mega Cash Days. Big shout out to Ryan Martin for winning Mega Cash Days. It just adds to his resume of things he's done. I made a post, I think yesterday, about all his accomplishments, but he's pretty much won in every aspect of Street Outlaws, whether it's big tires on the street or small tires on the street. No Prep Kings on the track, like he's won everything, basically. Everything you could possibly win on Street Outlaws. So shout out to him. It's not surprising that happened. I know being in the position I am now with social media and doing the Stack Guy stuff, like I knew the results. Obviously, the night it happened, I knew he won. The night it happened, and it's hard. Trust me, it's hard to not talk about it. So I'm glad I get to talk about it now. So shout out to Ryan, big win, man. I guess before I get into that, I also want to shout out to Bobby and Axeman too. When you're talking about top guys on the street, we've seen it now, and I'm gonna look back at my stats and I'm gonna combine some stats, but I just want to make it like a little stat about how good the Street Outlaws guys are, who the top guys are on the street. And Bobby and Axeman, if you think about America's List 2, America's List 1, and Mega Cash Days, season 1 and 2, like Bobby and Axeman are two guys that are in the top 5. I haven't put the list together, but just thinking they're in the top 5 of wins on the streets. So shout out to Bobby and Axeman. Bobby, both of them were killing it. Axeman had that CUDA. His CUDA, I love that car. Bobby, that old faithful out there. And I'm telling you, man, Bobby is one tough SOB on the streets, whether it's big tire or small tire. That dude and that car gets down. So shout out to both those guys. They had great showings in Mega Cash Days. And obviously the show was selling the point of the No Prep King guys, Street Outlaws guys, against the regular small tire guys who do it every week. And the result was the Street Outlaws guys kicked ass. There were a few of the small tire guys that made it some rounds. Brandon Mork is one of them I could think of. Who else? I can't think of any right now offhand. But there were a couple of small tire guys that do it regularly. But I think the common theme was the small tire guys who do it regularly thought they had enough to get down a shitty road, and didn't think the big old Hemis and stuff like that were going to be able to get all that power wasn't going to be able to get down the road. Well, a lot of those guys like Ryan and Bobby and Axeman, like they detuned the cars obviously, and they figured something out. And it's just you saw the No Prep Kings guys had too much power for these regular small tire guys, and the small tire guys didn't bring enough power with them. That's all there is to it. So I bet you next time when they do the Mega Cash Days again with the small tire guys or something like that, I bet you those small tire guys are going to bring some more power with them. But the No Prep Kings guys, they showed out, man, on Mega Cash Days, jumping down to small tires. A lot of those guys, there was a couple of guys who said it's been 10 years since they raced on small tires. But at the end of the day, man, these guys, just like when they change their tire size and No Prep Kings from one year to the next, or they change this or change that, like if you're good at racing, you're going to figure it out. You're going to figure it out pretty quickly. So, it's not surprising to me that Ryan won at Mega Cash Days. Bobby was in the finals. Actually made it to like the final 3 people. Like that wasn't surprising to me. Like those guys are, no matter what they're doing on the street, they're going to be top contenders. So, um, and then I also want to say, so that's Mega Cash Day, so that's the end now. I don't know. I haven't seen the advertisements for the next show that'll be on for $3, but I believe it's going to be Australia, I think. Not sure when it's coming on, but watch out for that. We obviously know I had Ryan on. We talked about Australia. I had Justin on an interview. We talked about Australia. So um, I might post those interviews again, or go to my YouTube page, check them out. We talked about Australia. So if you want to get like back in the mix of what to expect for the Australia races, they were live streamed at the time. I did watch some of the live streams. I did not do any stats on it. So that's something I will be doing for the Australia TV show when it airs. I'll be posting weekly stats up to date. So I'll have those for you if you got that. Justin Stone, I got you, man. Just PM me. I'll get you a Stat Guy shirt. I do have Stat Guy shirts. I have such limited. I never think it's crazy. I never think I'm gonna like get rid of them or sell any of them. So I only do small orders at a time. I only do like 30 shirts at a time. But like I go through them so fast. Like I just gotta do like a big order one of these days. Do like 100 shirts or something like that. There you go. October 11th, October 10th, the Australia starts. So there you go. October 10th or 11th, whatever that. It's a Monday. Whatever Monday is, that's when it'll be on. At least where I'm at. So I posted So I just want to clear up some things. So I posted the results of the Ryan Martin winning Mega Cash Days on Monday night. I posted them after the show had aired where I live. I'm Central Time, and the show had aired. Now, I did not know, and from what I understand, I did not know the show doesn't air on the West Coast at the same exact time. Like, so they advertise it as 8 Eastern, right? So that's 7 Central Time. So at 9 o'clock my time, Central Time, at 10 o'clock Eastern, the show's over, right? So to me, I was thinking if it's Pacific, it would start at 6, or 5. I mean, it would start at 5 and it'd be done at 7 o'clock. But I guess Pacific time zone, the West Coast, it doesn't air on Monday nights, from what I'm guessing. Anyway, I guess what I'm getting at is, first of all, I post all the No Prep Kings things, No Prep Kings updates, and that's not on TV yet at all. Okay. And then I waited. I did a nice thing, and I waited until the episode was over on live TV. Okay. So those people who pissed off that I said it was a spoiler, first of all, if you don't watch it live, that's not my problem. Okay. Like, I'm not going to sit there and wait a week until I bet you everybody's watched Mega Cash Days now, and I'm going to make a post. So I'm not gonna do that. So and I post all the No Prep Kings results, and they're not even on TV at all yet. So if you're worried about seeing results, do not go to my page the night of any TV show. So just a friendly advice. It's not a spoilers page. I knew the Mega Cash Days results back in December when it aired, but I didn't post it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not gonna do that. But I just, if you don't want to know the results, like the winner of don't come to my page on the last night. Wait till after you watch the episode, then come on, check out my page for the stats. But just a friendly reminder. I mean, it's nice. I know people say like they enjoy knowing the results of No Prep Kings now when I post them, because then it'll air in a few months or whatever. And then they kind of forget about who won, or they kind of get to, they know who won, but then they want to see how they won, stuff like that. So anyways, if you want to say my page is spoiler page, it definitely is a spoiler page for No Prep Kings. But as far as the TV shows go, I don't ever post about the TV shows until they air. Taylor Woods, I suggest you just stay off the internet, then, man. I don't know what to tell you, dude. I'm not gonna wait for a day or two until everybody watches the show. Like, I'm just not gonna wait. So, just a friendly reminder that the season finale of any Street Outlaw show, you might not want to go on the internet that night. Anyway, I have a couple stats I want to post about. So Kai won the whole weekend. So he won Friday and Saturday night. So that's the first person. He's the first one to do that this season, win Friday and Saturday night, back to back, and only the 4th time in the last 2 seasons to do that. Ryan won the Grade 8 and the Invitational back to back in the same weekend. He did that 3 times last year. So Kai's done it for the first time this year. He's first person to do it. I'm sorry, Ben. I know everybody watched it different times. I figured, I mean, I could have posted it in December. Yeah, it really would really pissed at me. No, I would never do that early. But I'm just saying, I thought I would wait till it was done on TV live, and then I'd make a post. But so anyway, um, we call it the Ryan Martin weekend. Yeah, that's right, Adam. Well, now you can call it now this season. We can call it the Kai Kelly weekend. Uh, but man, I'm happy for Kai, man. He's flying, dude. He's unstoppable right now. So with that said, there are 7 races remaining. Kai has a comfortable lead in the grade 8. His team has a comfortable lead in the team points. But there are 7 races. That's a lot of races left. You never know what's going to happen. As you know, every season they do 1.5 or double points, stuff like that. I'm not sure if they're going to do that. I have not heard. I'm not even sure if they know they're going to do that. But you can probably come to expect that some of the races might amp up the points to make it even more interesting at the end of the year. And as you know, even Ryan Martin has had big leads at this point in the season. But every single season of No Prep Kings, the last race was still open as far as who could win it. Every single season. Not one season did the person who in first place come into the final race not having to race. Like they had to race. They had to go rounds. So as of right now, that wouldn't be the case. Kai's got a huge lead in the grade 8. He's got like over a 2-race lead. So, but Giuseppe's right there, man. Giuseppe's right there in the finals with him. I think Giuseppe's made like 3 finals now overall. So Giuseppe's right there. Some guys are picking it up right now. Some guys are getting faster. Guys like Murder Nova. So there's a lot of season left. There's 7 races left. Yeah, last year, the last 3 races. The last race last year was double points, and then the 2 races before that was 1.5. So, who's going to draw for the grade 8 in Vegas? Let me answer that real quick. I just talked about that, but I will answer that again. So your grade 8 in Vegas will be Kai Kelly, Lizzie Musi, Damon Merchant, Kayla Morton, Nate Saylor, Giuseppe Gentile, Axeman, and then there'll be a chip draw between 4 guys. Scott Taylor, David Gates, Robin Roberts, and Murder Nova. Now, I've seen on their internet a really great idea. Since there's 4 wide in Vegas, they should have all 4 of those guys race off for that last spot instead of doing a chip draw. Just throwing that out there, man. It's a great idea. But I'm not sure if any of the 4 wide stuff is happening. So, a couple other things I wanted to touch on. So I did the first annual Stat Guy Best Looking MPK car contest. 2 things. Next year, I got to shorten the name up because that's just way too long of a name for it. And secondly, we crowned a first season champion. Sean Murder Nova won the car show. So shout out to him. He had the most votes. I know there was a lot. People are feel strongly about this competition. You got to remember at the end of the day, just because you like a certain kind of car or a certain color of a car or a certain anything does not mean that someone who's like something differently, it doesn't mean they're wrong. Okay. I saw tons of comments. I had to delete comments because some were just ridiculous. But at the end of the day, did popularity play into some of it? For sure. Did how good the car looks play into some of it? For sure. Did the likability of the person playing it? Sure. All factors. You're never gonna get, even at real car shows. I don't know if you guys have been to real car shows, but the judges, you can tell like some of the judges and it's not their fault, but they just don't like certain kind of cars. They don't like certain kind of cars. They don't like certain looks on kind of cars. It's just everybody has their own opinion. So it's never going to be a straight up, this is the best looking car, because not everybody's going to agree on that. Okay. But I have proof that it wasn't entirely a popularity contest, because if you know who Danny Topol is, you might not know him because he's been to a couple No Prep Kings races this year. He hasn't got into an invitational yet, but he has an orange Camaro, first gen Camaro, and I know it's not a popularity contest because he beat Lazy Musey in the first round and he beat Kai Kelly in the second round. So people were definitely voting for his car instead of voting for popularity. Because if they were voting for popularity, he wouldn't have made it out of the first round. So not that popularity didn't play a factor in it at some point, like it didn't have a factor in it, but it was not the reason why people won. If you see Murder Nova's car in person, the gloss black, it's a beautiful look. I personally love the red rims and the red and the white ramjack on it. It's cool, man. It's a cool looking car, it really is. So there was a bunch of guys that were deserving of winning. Don't get me wrong. Murder Nova was your first winner. What I'm going to do is the plan is I have the trophy ordered, engraved, and then I will be presenting it to Murder Nova and presenting it to Sean at the Ohio race. Probably gonna do like either go live or do a video of it. So I'll be presenting his trophy for the first annual car show. I appreciate everybody who was involved in it. A couple things I want to talk about of why I did it. So I saw some people asking why I did the comments as voting. So there was I looked at 3 different ways to do it. The first way Kevin, yeah, the first way I looked at it was doing a poll, right? The poll would have gave you exactly a number of votes for each, but the only problem is when you post a poll, you only get a tiny little picture to post with it. So that was not going to happen because you're not going to be able to even hardly see the car. So that couldn't do that idea. Second idea was to do a reaction. So like hit the like button if you vote for Murder Nova, hit the love button if you vote for Ryan Martin, something like that. Now I did a little like a pre-test. I made a post about hitting the like button about a month ago because I had this idea to do this. It just took me a while to finally do it. And I noticed that people sometimes don't read a post. They will just see a cool picture and they'll hit the like button. They're like, oh, I like that picture, and then hit the like button. Well, that kind of misconstrues the voting for the matchups. So the person who has the like button might get more votes just because somebody saw it. They didn't even actually read it. They have no idea what the competition is even about. They just hit the like button because they saw a picture of it. So I didn't do that. I did the comments. I stopped. I did the first round at 12 hours because I cut it short. I left the voting for 12 hours because there were so damn many matchups, and it takes me about 5 to 10 minutes on each post to add up the votes. It became quite time consuming to do this, but I wanted to make sure it was accurate. Sometimes I had to count twice just because the voting was so close. I wanted to make sure it was 100% accurate. So the first round stayed open for 12 hours, and the second round stayed open. Because it was less matchups, I left it open for 24 hours. So basically, I waited until 24 hours was up, open up the comment section. First thing I had to do was sift through all the votes, because if it says 900 comments, that doesn't mean there's 900 votes, because that includes the 900 comments includes replies to any of the comments, and it also includes people who put somebody else's name or put neither or put both or put I can't vote, blah blah blah. So when it says 900 comments, it doesn't mean there's 900 votes for the drivers. Okay, just get that out of the way too. So I had to sift through all that shit, add it all up every time, but it ended up working out good. I know there was some very close. I forget who it was. There was one matchup that was decided by 2 votes. I think it was Danny Topol and Giuseppe, I believe. I counted it and I was like, holy shit. So I counted it again, went through it again, spent another 15 minutes counting it up, and it was for Giuseppe for 2 votes. So that was the closest one. There was other ones that were within like 10, 15 votes. I want to say there were some close ones. I can't remember who. Bobby Ducote and Jeff Lutz was a really close one. Bowman was a really close one. I'm talking, when I say close, less than like 15 votes. Anyway, it was great. I'm glad. Thank you to everybody who participated in it. I had a lot of fun. So I could have did a poll, else, but what I just explained is the pictures you get to post for the poll are tiny pictures. They won't let you post like a full post picture on a poll. They make them literally tiny. You can't even see the car then. So I couldn't do the poll. Otherwise, that would have been a great idea. That would have been the easiest one. I wouldn't have had to add up shit. But the runner-up was Ryan. It was Murder Nova versus Ryan in the finale. What's up, Brent Alberry? How you doing, man? Still watching your crazy ass videos all the time. Make me laugh. Shout out to Brent Alberry. Follow him on Facebook. He's in the chat. He's in the chat box right now. Follow him on Facebook. He has hilarious videos. Drives a pretty badass small tire car. So there you go, Kev. You can't even do a poll on a page. So I couldn't do that option actually. But anyway, this car show went great. Shout out to all the photographers who let me use their photos. A lot of the drivers sent photos to me that they wanted to use, but I made sure I tagged every single time I tagged. If I used a photographer's photo, I tagged them in it. So hopefully, might have earned them, kind of got them some more looks on their page. But if it wasn't, if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be able to do a car show. So shout out to all of them. I got tons of love for everybody who let me use their pictures. I think that's all I got to talk about for the night. So if you guys are following along, whoever's in the chat box, if y'all got any questions for me, I will not be going to Vegas this week. I have my kids, so I will be, but I will be in Ohio the following week. So I'll be driving to Ohio. It's about an 8-hour drive. We're making that drive. We'll be there on Thursday. Leave on Sunday. I was at the first race of the season in Ohio. That was in that summit. I think it was a summit. This race is at Dragway 42. I've never been there. Dave Sullivan. Okay. Kevin Stevenson. Did you burn that sage in Mike's pit on Saturday? I gave Mike a big hug when I saw him. Mike Bowen has had and I don't even want to laugh about it because it's almost becoming really sad. The worst luck. Mike Bowen has had the worst luck I've seen on anybody in the season, man. That guy, I feel so bad for him. I had to give him a hug on Saturday. I love Mike Bowman. He's such a nice guy. His car is really fast. It really, really is fast. But he's had such bad luck. Dave Sullivan, got to explain what your logo is. My sister created it. I think it's like obviously some burnouts with like red and then the red color splattered on top of it. I have no idea. I don't know. My sister created it a long time ago when I first started my page. So a long time ago, but about a year and a half when I started my page. Cool. I like black and red. That's kind of my colors. So that was cool. Cool looking logo. Pretty unique. Really, everybody has that kind of logo. So, Bucci, thank you. Justin, yes, I enjoyed dinner, man. Feeling on Aaron Rodgers' injury. Oh, that was heartbreaking last night or Monday night. I was all excited. He runs out of the tunnel with the flag and everything. Everybody's going crazy. And yeah, tears his Achilles in the fourth play of the game. I don't know, man. I feel bad for the Jets. I mean, obviously, I feel bad for all football fans because you don't want to see one of the better quarterbacks out. But I feel really bad for Jets fans because the Jets team. I mean, I don't know if you guys are football fans, but the Jets team outside the quarterback position are loaded. That rookie running back last year got hurt. He's back, and he had those 2 long runs. Gary Wilson, the receiver, had a one-handed catch. Their defense is all over the field. Like, they have a really good team. But now, what's his name? Wilson gets to lead the team. So, I don't know. I think with A-Rod and that really good team, they had a really good chance of probably going to the Super Bowl this year. But not anymore. So, it's shitty for Jets fans. Why wasn't Honda Aaron in Mega Cash Chase? I do not know. Jeremy, gone in 60 seconds. Yes, he was, man. It's unfortunate. Definitely unfortunate. Is anybody going to Vegas this weekend? I've been to Vegas before in the past. I know it's probably going to be a really fun race. Shout out to Rogue. I got myself a new hat. Damon Merchant, Rogue, sweet hat. You go to No Prep Kings race, gotta get yourself one. He might have a website. He might have a website where he sells hats too. I don't even know. But shout out to Damon. Had to pick me up a hat. But yeah, Colorado was a great event. Please get to a No Prep Kings race if you haven't yet. You're missing out if you haven't been to one. It's amazing. But I think that's about it for my live feed tonight. Appreciate everybody coming on and listening to my recap, listening to me talk. Justin Stone, what's your take on Clay Cole? Like I said earlier, Clay's got all the tools to be really, really fast, and he is really fast. He's got a great car, great tuner. He's a great driver. He's got everything he needs. So expect Clay to keep running towards the top the rest of the season for sure. Yeah, I'm gonna get out of here. Appreciate y'all. I will not have a guest on this week. I was probably gonna have one on tomorrow, but we gotta reschedule for next week. So I'll be doing a Stat Guy show next week. So appreciate y'all coming on. And I will see y'all in the comments section on Upshift 360 YouTube all weekend. So what's up, JJ? There he is, Prizo Jr. That's Upshift 360. Make sure you follow him. Watch all the live feeds this weekend if you can't make the races. All right, I'll see y'all later.